How do I approach the topic of household chores with my boyfriend?
Oof.
I, 23 female, have been with my boyfriend, 27 male, for 2 years. We have a 4-month-old and I have a 3-year-old from a previous relationship. We both work full-time and split finances 50-50. I do almost all of the cooking, picking up toys, dishes, laundry, vacuuming, and any other deep cleans of the bathroom, kitchen, etc. He will do the dishes maybe once every week or two, and he takes out the trash. Before returning to work from my maternity leave, I talked to him about needing more help once I go back to work. He agreed. Now that I've been back to work for a few months, he is definitely not stepping up like I need him to. On several occasions, I have stayed up very late into the night just doing dishes trying to keep up. I understand that he works earlier in the morning than I do, but even on his 3 days off, I feel he does not do his fair share. So I spent my 2 days off playing catch up, and I never feel rested anymore. I dread going into work, and I feel like I never stop moving from the moment I wake up until my kids are asleep. I've tried communicating that we, quote, need to have a serious talk. I need more help. And he got defensive and said things like, okay, mom, I just don't know what to do. How do I approach the topic of a move even split without seeming like a nagging girlfriend?
The okay mom comment would set me up. That is how he sees you. That is point blank how he sees you, unfortunately. Not the nagging part. He sees you as his mom, picking up after him, cleaning up after him, doing everything for him. He just told you how he views you. And it's not the nagging part. It's the taking care of you, being a literal mom for this man-child who is 27 years old. Advice? I would honestly at this point, like, if you've tried to have a serious talk with him, which it seems like you've stated here, I would give him an ultimatum. Honestly, it is unfortunate that you now have a 4-month-old with him and you have another 3-year-old too. But it seems like you're acting like a single mom anyways, honestly.
Okay. You can't give an ultimatum. You want to stay in the relationship. What do you do?
Another option would just be to stop doing his stuff.
Right?
But at that point, it's like you're no longer a partnership then. And like, I feel like once you get to that point of like being petty and just like doing it for yourself and not your partner, then I don't think it's like a sustainable relationship anymore, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
this one is an option. You can try that angle.
But there's kids involved. And if you want to like kind of like keep things and work on things, how do you make him see that he should be doing stuff?
Yeah.
So I replied and I said, that's tough. If you both work full time and split the bills, then it should be 50-50 or a balance with all other chores of life. It's spiteful, but after you've had a serious conversation and explain where he is not holding his half in the relationship, stop doing things for him. Only wash the dishes that you need to use. Let everything else pile up so when he needs a dish, he has to wash it and will notice the other dishes not done. Do not stay up late doing them. Point out that he needs to do the dishes. Once you have pointed it out too many times, let them pile up. I know it will hurt your soul to look at them and such, but it could be needed to prove your point. Do you do all the cooking? If he isn't holding up his half, then stop cooking for him. Do you do all the laundry? Stop washing his clothes. Keep in mind that two people's dirty threshold can be different. Teresa likes things to stay cleaner than me, but through conversations, I have learned that it doesn't mean that it's okay for me to let things get dirtier just because it doesn't bother me. In a real relationship with love and care, your partner will listen and make improvements. If they do not care, they won't. If he is putting more hours at work, like overtime, and then uses that as an excuse, then maybe he should pay the same percentage more of the bills if he is using being at work longer as an excuse since you pay 50% with your normal hours. If all else fails, when we read this on an upcoming episode, have it playing with him listening in the car or somewhere so that he hears it and maybe comments. Then you can say that it was your post. Hope this helps.
I like that, actually. But cut it off right before. Hopefully he's not listening right now to that comment.
Yeah. Take a pause right after and be like, how do you feel about this story?
That's funny. Yeah.
But like,
That's a great top comment.
Thank you. She said we need to have a serious talk. I need more help. She tried communicating that we need to have a serious talk, but how did you get into that serious talk? And if you aren't ready to just up and walk away, then stop doing things for him.
Yeah.
Just stop everything. Everything that you do, just go solo life like you're living with a roommate, and then see if he self-corrects, if he reflects.
That is actually a good step rather than the extreme of just getting divorced or...
Yeah, like if you want to stay, like you got to make him realize that he's a fucking man-child. Needs to grow the fuck up, buddy.
Yeah, but
Grow
at
up.
that point though, like if he doesn't, like if he still lets it pile up, like if he is being petty back and he's like only washing the one dish that he needs and like...
Yeah, then you know it's over. It's done.
Then I think at that point, like you...
But sometimes people have, like sometimes in a relationship, you can have the tendency where you do everything really quickly because your dirty threshold is different than the other person's threshold. You do everything like right away. And then that other person doesn't realize how much work you're doing because you're doing it right away, that they don't see it not being done, and they can get taken advantage of or not, or it goes underappreciated where your spouse doesn't know, like, I wash the dishes right away, I do this much laundry, I do this, and this. If they get up early or come home late, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like if you stop doing it, maybe they realize, oh, like what's happening? What's all this stuff? Like I didn't even realize like you have to do all this much stuff. They're not seeing the piles of laundry that's not getting folded. They're not seeing the piles. They think, oh, laundry, that takes 2 seconds. When I do laundry, it takes me like 2 freaking hours, or like it takes me like an hour to fold like 5 loads of laundry. So like sometimes when you do everything like right away, your partner doesn't realize how much work you're doing. So if you like stop doing it, then they realize like, oh man, when they start doing it themselves, like you actually do a lot. And maybe they step up. And if they don't, they're not willing to listen to you and they're not willing to step up, then you're not in a loving relationship because
it just proves that he doesn't care about you.
Exactly.
As a person, as a wife or girlfriend. Sorry, I don't remember if it was married. Boyfriend.
Yeah. And if you're splitting the bills 50-50 and he's working more time with you and he's using that as an excuse, well, like, oh, I'm at work, like you should do this stuff because I'm not. It's like, well, you're like, well, yeah, but I also work and we pay for everything half and half. So if you're going to spend more time at work and not at home, then maybe you should pay a larger percent of your income to these things at the same time that you're at work.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but it doesn't seem that way because she said that he has 3 days off and she has 2 days off. So it sounds like he has a 4-day work week.
He has 3 days off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just stop doing shit for him. Plain and simple.
I would try that.
Try that first. If that doesn't work, then if he's not willing to listen to you and have a conversation, then that's not a relationship.
Yeah.
All right. Back to you.
Okie dokes.